The first snow of the year came early to Mapo, dusting rooftops in Pale. At exactly 8:40 a.m., Yu Hanul rushed through the glass entrance with blueprints, sketchbooks, and a paper bag of chestnut bread. She was 5 minutes late. Then it got worse. The moment she crossed the lobby, she crashed straight into a man stepping out of the elevator. Hanul dropped to her knees, grabbing for the rolling tube. At the same moment, the man bent down too, and their hands hit the same edge of paper. He looked at the blueprint as if the collision itself had merely interrupted his inspection. "This lobby wall detail is wrong," he said. No more greeting, no more apology, just criticism before 9 in the morning. Before Hanul could properly argue back, Director Oh rushed over in panic. "President Cha, you're early," he said, and the color drained from her face. President, CEO, the man she had just snapped at was none other than Cha Ji-won, the new head of the company. Ji-won handed the blueprint back and walked away as if nothing unusual had happened. Hanul stood frozen in the lobby and whispered, "I hate him already." Ji-won, on the other hand, seemed to believe in something else entirely. In meetings, he moved like a blade, quiet, precise, and impossible to ignore. He criticized her color palette first. He called it timid. Then he studied her reading corner design. "It lacks warmth," he said, as if warmth could be measured and filed away. When he finally called her cafe concept pretty, but not alive, Hanul's patience snapped. Some people stayed silent under pressure. Hanul had never been one of them. She sat at her desk afterward, staring at her sketches and swallowing down her anger. The more she thought about him, the more she wanted to confront him. "You know," she said, "there are easier ways to tell people you're miserable." Ji-won looked up at her, calm as ever, and said only one word, "Speak," and so she did. She told him beauty was not math, that people lived inside feelings, not perfect measurements, and that a room without heart was just an empty shell pretending to matter. Ji-won listened without interrupting. Then he answered, just as sharply, that emotion without structure would only collapse. Hanul stepped closer and said the words that changed everything. "Then maybe someone with structure and someone with feeling should stop fighting long enough to make one decent room." For a moment, Ji-won said nothing. Then he told her to prepare her sketches, because she would be joining the Bukhan renovation project. When Hanul first stood outside the old Bukhan house, she felt equal parts awe and suspicion. It was exactly the kind of place Hanul loved. Ji-won said the courtyard needed breathing space. He warned that memory without discipline became clutter. She fired back that discipline without memory became a hotel lobby, and that became their rhythm. They argued over lanterns, benches, shelf heights, stone colors, proportions, and every little detail that could possibly be argued over. Their eyes met across the frosted courtyard, and for one strange second, the argument felt less like a fight and more like something beginning, not warmer, not safer, just fuller. Soon after, she left black sesame bread on the passenger seat of the company car, pretending she had simply bought too much. He never mentioned it, but the bag was always gone by the end of the day. Little by little, they began working side by side instead of against each other. He listened more than before. Soon their movements began to match. Measuring, sketching, adjusting, rethinking like two people slowly learning the shape of the same language. At night, Hanul lived another life. Once a week, she volunteered at a tiny community radio station tucked quietly into the neighborhood. There, beside the elderly host of Winter Window, she sorted letters from strangers who trusted the dark more than daylight. It was a small place, but it held many unseen hearts. Inside, someone wrote about a woman at work who believed every room deserved a soul. He called her exhausting, reckless, impossible to ignore. Hanul read the letter aloud on air, but something about it caught in her chest. It did not sound angry. It sounded lonely. Elsewhere in the city, Ji-won sat alone under a desk lamp, writing another letter in silence. His office was full of plans, but not much warmth. Across the city, people listened from taxis, kitchens, and convenience stores. One evening, snow fell over Bukhan as the last staff members packed up and left. Only Hanul and Ji-won remained in the old house, surrounded by unfinished walls and quiet. Emergency light flickered on, dim and amber. Ji-won found a candle in the site kit and lit it carefully. The flame trembled once, then steadied, like something small refusing to disappear. Hanul rubbed her hands together and looked around the darkened room. "This place is beautiful even like this," she said. Ji-won looked at her over the candlelight and said, "That sounds like something from your radio program." Hanul stared at him, startled. She had never expected him to know. Then, very quietly, Ji-won began to speak about his mother. He told her how happy he was when he was a child. Without thinking, she reached toward him and adjusted the scarf at his collar. Her fingers brushed his throat. Ji-won went still, so did she. Neither stepped back. The candle flickered between them, and outside, snow tapped softly against the paper doors. The air did not grow warmer first. It simply stopped pretending to be cold. Ji-won looked at her with a softness she had never seen fully uncovered before. "I think I loved your heart," he said, before I knew where to place it. Hanul's eyes filled as she answered him. "And I think I loved your gentleness before I knew it belonged to you. I changed many things," he admitted, and in that moment, she understood that the gate was not the only thing that had opened Hanul stepped closer. This time, there was no argument left between them, only all the words they had hidden inside other words.